Yo, we are so back, y'all. We are so back, and I could cry happy tears right now. Happy tears only. Welcome back to Clock That Beat with Jaron, a podcast from Modilla where we get into all the latest and hottest indie music together. I'm Jaron, your resident indie music enthusiast, and we get together every 2 weeks to talk about the dopest artists on the rise and whatever else is on my mind. Let's go. So you might have heard me say, clock that beat with Jaron, and been like, Jaron, wait a minute now. I thought the podcast was called Beats by Drag with Jaron. We're back. We're back from a little bit of a hiatus, but we're back with a new look, a new style, a new color, as MC Deborah, Ballroom Icon says. So we're back. We're back with a new name, Clock That Beat with Jaron, and we're also back with a new format. So from this day forward, from this day hence, from this day forward, we'll be exclusively talking about indie music every 2 weeks. And as y'all may or may not know, music is my absolute first love, and I absolutely love sharing dope music with friends, with family, my favorite barista occasionally, my receptionist boo at work. Shout out Lindsay. Literally everyone. I'm always sharing music with everyone, and I'm absolutely excited to be chatting the hottest indie artists with you all every 2 weeks, giving these artists a little bit of shine while talking about whatever else is on my mind. I kind of like how that rhymes, y'all. Do y'all like that? Y'all like that? But speaking of what's been on my mind lately, I titled this podcast episode Jaron Talks Comebacks, and spoiler alert, the podcast is back from a hiatus of almost 3 years, y'all. Almost 3 years. But right before I hit record on this video, I got a little emotional, y'all. I got a little emotional. I was getting teary. I was like, I cannot cry. I cannot cry. I can't mess with the makeup right now. I can't. But for the longtime listeners who are back with the comeback, thanks so much for still listening. And for the newcomers, welcome to Jaron Shenanigans. Lately, y'all, I've been thinking about comebacks as this new era of my life honestly feels like a comeback in so many different ways. To ground us for a moment in this little chat about comebacks, I actually looked up dictionary.com's definition of a comeback, and she defines it as a return to a former position, status, etc. Why always we put that? Why always I put that voice on when I'm trying to be super serious? I always gotta take it back to the church house. Shout out to the church house. But about a year ago, I moved back to the San Francisco Bay Area after being away for about 5 years. And for those who don't know, the Bay has always felt like home to me, always felt like home. And I absolutely love the people. I love the culture. I love the music scene. I love the restaurant scene. I love the drag scene. Shout out to the drag queens of the Bay. And I also love the shorties here. If you know, you know. What was curious about this comeback to the Bay was it felt like the universe was offering me a second chance in a way. I'm literally back at the company that I originally moved to the Bay to work for. I'm also living in the East Bay again, and I'm literally living not too far away from the apartment that I used to live in the first time around. I was giving all of this some thought about how it all feels so familiar, and sitting with this feeling of second chances and comebacks, and the question, rather, dropped in me, what am I going to do differently with the second chance? And I've literally just been thinking about that every day. I wrote it down in my notes app, and I've been trying to ask myself that regularly. Part of what I want to do differently this time around is intentionally pouring into this podcast and honoring the gifts that I feel like a higher power has given me. I'm so excited to do this passion work and chat with you all every 2 weeks about indie music. And, I want y'all to hold me to this commitment that I've made to myself. Go ahead, send me messages on the Clock That Beat Instagram account at Clock That Beat on Instagram and let me know that y'all are listening. Hold me to it. Hold me to this commitment that I've made to myself. And I also want to know, have y'all ever felt like the universe is giving you a second chance? I want to know. And if so, what did you do with that second chance? Send me a note on the Instagram account, or send me an email to Jaron at clockthatbeat.com. And I want to hear from y'all lovely listeners of the podcast. Let me know. Let me know your thoughts about this idea of second chances. So we're back with the comeback, and we're returning with an absolute favorite of Clock That Beat. That favorite is the one and only Sintoria. I played her song Good Luck on a previous episode of the podcast, and we're about to get into her latest single, Egg on Concrete, which was actually my top listened to song of 2025. I tell y'all no lies. Of course, you can listen to this song on the Clock That Beat 2026 playlist live now. Just search Clock That Beat on Spotify, and let's go ahead and vibe out to Egg on Concrete. And when we come back, we'll deep dive into all things Sintoria. Let's go.
I just can't seem to loosen my head. You just can't seem to stay out this bed. I think that you was made for me, so I don't wanna go. I don't wanna grow up if it's not with you. I don't wanna know, even if I wanna know. Funny how they change the tone where I wanna go. Oh, I bloom a little when you take it to the basement. I fantasize when we have a conversation. A G situation's taken to the pavement. I find a little heaven in the implications. I just can't seem to loosen my head.
You're back here with me, Jaron, and that was Egg on Concrete by Sintoria. So Sintoria is one of my absolute favorite indie R&B artists, and she hails from LA, and what I love about her sound is that it feels so fresh and almost even experimental at times. Her musical arrangements are so unexpected, and they literally feel like ear delights. And I was recently talking to my coworker, Boo Lindsay. Shout out Lindsay. I was talking to her about Sintoria and how much of a delight Sintoria is. And I remember telling Lindsay in particular that what I love about Sintoria is her vocal tone. It feels and it sounds so rich, textured, and layered. And whenever Sintoria sings, it feels like an invitation to uncover the meaning and the root feeling behind her lyrics. Speaking of lyrics, let's go ahead and get into it. So on Egg on Concrete, Sintoria starts the song with the lyrics, I just can't seem to loosen my head. He just can't seem to stay out this bed. I think that you was made for me, so I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Ooh, that feeling feels so familiar. And, for the long time listeners of the pod, y'all know I'm a lover boy. And there's something so sweet, so pure about that feeling of thinking someone was made for you. And, I've been dating a guy lately, and, after doing a couple things in the bed, which I ain't gonna tell y'all about right now because we're trying to keep this episode PG. We try to keep it PG. After doing a couple things in the bed, I remember kissing him, and having like those soft, intimate conversations that you have after a session. And there was a moment, if I'm being honest, y'all, there was a moment where I closed my eyes, I kissed him, and I pictured us together at our wedding. I did, y'all. I did. I did, y'all. And it was in that moment right there, I knew that I felt like he was made for me. I knew it. I knew it. I want to know though, have y'all ever felt like someone was made for you? Let me know. What about that person made you think that he, she, or they were made for you? I think for the guy that I'm dating right now, it was the feeling of comfort and safety that I got with him. I felt both emotionally and physically secure with him. And it was that combination of those things that made me feel like he was made for me. Shout out to him. We ain't gonna name him yet. We ain't gonna name him yet. But shout out to you. You know who you are. Back to Sintoria though. We're about to get into another gem of hers titled Amorphous. And this song, y'all, feels like the sun rays blessing your skin on a lovely day. Who doesn't love some vitamin D? Come on now. Let's groove for a bit to Amorphous by Sintoria.
But good is a damn decision. If I can't even meet the reason for the reaping, it shouldn't be too difficult to give it a go. Organically, I'm kinda dead at you from the soul. I'm only pulling niggas out the root from the soul. It's good while it's getting if the truth has been told. Want to see you, breathe you into form. When I need to know, and you need to know. I wanna live in warm sun.
Welcome back, y'all. That groove was Amorphous by Sintoria. So, yeah, I need to know, were y'all digging the songs and the vibes on the podcast today? Shoot me a DM over on the Instagram account at Clock That Beat and let me know. Also, feel free to send me any indie music recommendations that you all have. I want to know what songs y'all are jamming to, dancing to, or maybe even falling in love to out there. I want to thank you all for joining me on another episode of Clock That Beat. My name's Jaron, and if you want to be my favorite lovely listener of the pod, go ahead and leave me a review on your favorite podcast app of choice, and be sure to follow the pod. Also, while you're at it, tell a friend, a loved one, your boo thing, or you know what, even the guy you blocked after you went out with him or her or them. Go ahead and tell all of them to stream the podcast. That's right. I need you to go ahead and unblock that person, forward a link to the podcast to them, and then you can reblock them. You can reblock them. You can. Thank you. Many thanks to Sintoria, who graciously provided her music for the podcast episode today. Clock That Beat is an Odella podcast. You can follow Clock That Beat on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for all the hottest indie music at Clock That Beat. And you can also follow Clock That Beat on Spotify to listen to all the rockin' playlists I put together over there. Thanks again for listening. And until next time, y'all already know what to do. Keep the beat fresh. So I'm miss saying that. I love y'all. Clock That Beat with Jaron is an Odella podcast. The theme song You is by Adrian Cabrera. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Oh, I feel so good to be back. Plus.